Hello, everybody. It's great to have you here coming to participate in the show with balls. Okay, so we don't pussyfoot around here. We're not nice to people who constantly crap on us and, you know, oh, please give us some more. Uh, it's the Claude, and the Claude is a bit mean lately. I think he's been learning from his mentor. Uh, which is missing Maud. Not, of course, Big Bad Mama, who is nice to everybody all the time. So Aiden can't be here because he's working. So I was going to ask him to open in prayer. So instead, though, we will ask um, Dustin. Dustin, who's very good at these sort of things. We'll just listen to him opening in prayer. So let's start the show this way. Thank you.
You fucking weasel! You little weasel! You asshole! Shut up! Go eat your own feces, dude.
Amen. In the name of Jesus, come home to Jesus and find that the one that is in love and that is with love and that has love and good intent for you is Jesus.
You fucking weasel! You little weasel! You asshole! Shut up! Go eat your own feces, dude.
In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
You
Well, I don't have to turn the thing off now. He's hard to get rid of. Yes, I just thought that was a way to start the show with edification. What do you think, Big Bad Mama?
Perfect. You can't make that stuff up either. I mean,
No, it's good. It was,
you couldn't even write that for a movie.
No. I think he has some talent there, hidden talent, but obviously deep down, this could be his key to a good future.
He'd be a good villain in a movie, I think.
Yeah, well, you could sell what I'm hoping to do is, after about 10 years of this, sell the script to Hollywood. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Sounds good.
Oh, someone is coming on called Deviant Outcast.
Hey,
who's the least deviant person on the whole show?
Sometimes.
Oh,
sometimes.
You've got a croaky voice too.
Yes, it's much better though.
Yeah.
But it's not really there yet. The worst part is I can't really, when I laugh, no sound comes out, or I start coughing.
Right, the cough goes last when you're sick like that.
Yeah. Claude?
Is Claude roboting right now?
Yeah.
Claude, you're roboting a bit.
Oop. Hello.
Now you're good.
Was I roboting?
Yeah.
Yes, a bit.
Just the last little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. If it keeps going, I might try and switch device. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Did you hear my comment about the frog in the thread?
No.
No, but I knew you had something golden in there, so that's why we wanted to pay attention.
We could have just ignored the roboting and just let you go on, but we didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's typical of the Claude. Ignored all the time. Has to have his own show to be the boss, and even then he can't.
Well, we told you were roboting. We didn't hide it from you.
No, that's all right.
We could have taken over the show right then.
I think
we missed our chance, BBM.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's a devious subtext to the plot.
Claude, you've had a cold too, right?
Yes, that's why I've lost my frickin' voice. What do you? Oh yes, thank you for showing interest, Big Bad Mama.
You're welcome.
You see the mood I'm in today.
Yes, nice.
It's been on for about 1 month now. I've been the same. I've been quite cankerous, you know.
Did you see the end of the Proverbs Guys show? It went south. The one tonight.
Yeah. Now I couldn't work out. They booted someone called Joshua. Was that right? Who got in trouble? What was that?
I think it must have been Josh.
That's a yeah, it was Josh.
Yeah.
So he's on Praise I Am's channel. He's on a larger ministries channel.
Right.
But he was blocked by the Proverbs Guys, and so he came on Gangster Ghost or Missy Maud's show.
No, Gangster Ghost.
Gangster Ghost show. And he wanted to know why. And he asked, I get all these shows mixed up. Did he ask Achilles? Yes, he asked Achilles. He and Aiden came in there.
Yeah, because
you were there. You explained it.
Josh were kind of upset and vented a bit to I believe Daniel was in there.
Yeah, but this was
Gangster Ghost.
This is before Daniel was there. It was you, Aiden, and Achilles.
Yeah, but Daniel was in his car at first.
Oh, okay.
And I was there, and Gangster Ghost, and Josh. And he just kind of vented, saying, if you're having a stream and you don't want guests to come on, then don't pin the link
right
there, and if you forget and someone comes in, acknowledge that they are there and just explain the situation and say, sorry, this was we didn't mean to put it out there. This is just for the blah 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 yada yada.
Right. So he waited backstage for a while without them letting him in.
Yeah. And while he was venting, Achilles came on to, I don't know, be a vent wall.
But to defend his channel. I mean, that's why he went on there.
Yeah. But he couldn't really give any real answers because he wasn't there.
For something different? No.
Right. But they ended up working out some sort of, they talked it out.
Yeah.
He and Josh.
Yeah.
So they had supposedly worked things out, but then when it came to the show Proverbs Guys, Dan had heard all this happening on the earlier show, and he just went off on Josh and basically said he's blocked from the chat. He's blocked. Every account that's new gets blocked from the chat. So if you the trolls, all the trolls out there who make these new accounts, you're going to be blocked by Dan. Now that wouldn't be me because I only have this one.
Well, that's it. And it wouldn't be all those accounts that Dan operates under, would it?
Right.
The very stupid long names. That wouldn't be here. I mean, he's going to have to block himself, isn't he?
Right. I mean, why doesn't he just? Everybody knows it. I mean, he announces that it's him. Oh, this is Dan. It's like, why don't you just use your regular avatar? I mean, he comes on under his kid's avatar and under some mission somewhere.
Yeah, is he aware that you can log out from YouTube and log in with your regular account?
Right. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, he wasn't happy and he blocked Josh right there.
Oh, cool.
And then they
Great.
wanted him backstage. They wanted Josh backstage to try to work it all out, but I don't know what happened.
Mm.
Was this after Gangster Ghost show?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Dan is really doing a great job of being more open as a president for the channel.
He's getting manic to where, I mean, he's got this high voice. It's even becoming even higher.
Yeah.
He's reaching like these, I don't know. It's hard to, I have to hold the headphones away from my ears a little bit sometimes.
What I would quite like to know is, I want to meet someone who has been saved by listening to a Proverbs Guys show. I really do. I would love to meet someone who's
we have one. It was Adam, and they ended up accusing him of a murder plot. That's the one person they've converted over to theism.
Is that so?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Adam went on there and they talked to him and stuff, and he was getting, and he wasn't a Christian. You know, he didn't want to go that far by saying he was a Christian, but he was willing to, you know, accept theism. And they were all proud of it, talking about it and stuff. And they ended up, he was the guy they put in their Hovind documentary.
Yeah.
So they turned on him.
Of course they did.
And of course, he's a lunatic. So, sorry, this is me talking straight again. I want to meet one normal person who's been saved by Proverbs Guys.
Right.
I just
right. Well, I know Adam, so he's not a lunatic.
Well, anybody who would come up with a plot involving murder.
I mean, he had, you know, in his defense, there is no defense for that. I know, but he was going through all sorts of stuff with medications and you know, depression and that kind of thing. And they said, we're not going to you know, we're not recording you. We're not going to use this material. So I know that's not an excuse to make up some stupid story like that.
No, but from what he said, he's bipolar and had a manic episode and was in in-house treatment when Stephen called him.
Right.
And people under those conditions, they do make up stories, but they also believe they are true.
And we have to remember the good that Adam did when they were searching for the child that had been with Chris Jones, and Adam was the one to interview John Paul Hansen or whatever his name is, and he put a whole lot of work in at that time. Now I know people have issues with him in the community, but I just want to give him some credit there.
See, Big Bad Mama is always nice, and I think that's a lovely quality. But look, I'll take that on board.
Jealous.
I will take that on board before filing it in the
in the trash.
Big Bad Mama, I have to say, I was just going through the internet, and your thing about Hovind's pug came up. Yeah, right.
I saw your video. Do you want to play it?
Oh, I had to, and it reminded me of this other video I'd seen.
Yeah, that was funny.
With Celeste Patterson.
Do you want to play it?
I don't know. I suppose I could. But do you know who Celeste Patterson is? Who they're interviewing? Do you know that?
No, the comedian.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not familiar with him.
Well, maybe I should play it, and then I'm going to tell you who it is, and you'll know, but you won't believe it's the same person.
Sure.
Shall I find it and play it now?
Yeah.
Keep talking in the meantime. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I'm sure that'll be hard. Deviant doesn't sort of say much, and she's very quick, at certain times of the day. Carry on.
She's like a church mouse. It's hard to get her to say anything.
Hey.
How is Soot? Now, he was feeling under the weather there for a while.
Yeah, he's much better. He wasn't 1 second. He wasn't sick as long as I was. So
okay.
When he started feeling sick on like Friday. He stayed home from work. And then I believe it was like 2 days after that I woke up sick. And by then he had a little bit of a cough, a bit of a sniffle, but was basically back on track.
Did you get tested?
No.
Okay.
Which is really, really strange, because I have had all of the symptoms of, everything from time of incubation to the symptoms of COVID.
Yeah.
And they should be testing you, but he seemed to think the doctor, that is, seemed to think it was unnecessary, because it was.
Why wouldn't they want that information just for the records, though?
Yeah, and so it is one of these sicknesses that you have to report from.
Right.
And he said that a couple of weeks ago, the number of COVID cases was higher, and last week it was lower than the week before that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe that's because you don't test people.
Yeah, that's
well,
odd.
It'd probably be quite embarrassing to tell him that you think you've picked up a Proverbs Guys transmitted demon. Right, we're going to listen to this.
Yes, let's go.
Listen carefully. It only takes 1 minute and a half. Here we go.
Can we see Sandra's pug on camera sometime? What? What a useless dog.
My wife, I gave her a dog last Christmas. I bought her this dog, and she called me up a couple of months ago, and she said, Les, the dog doesn't respond to my whistle anymore. My wife would whistle, the dog would come to her because she whistles naturally. She's always had a loose denture. The dog, she said, I'm whistling, the dog hasn't moved. What should I do? I said, just go to the chemist and buy some of that stuff in a tube that takes the hair off, a depilatory. Because I said, you better get it because the dog's got hair in the sea. That's right, I can't hear you whistling. So you get the cream. So she said she went to the chemist, and he said, well, look, before she could say anything, he said, if you're using it on your legs, plenty of soap and water because it's caustic. And he said, if it's for the armpits, more soap and water. And if you're using it on your face, Lady Patterson, really, you better wash it off quick. She said, well, actually, it's for my schnauzer. And he said, in that case, he said, don't ride a bike for a fortnight. That's what he said.
Oh, dear. So
I thought that was Eric Idle at first when I first saw it.
Okay, so his stage persona is Sir Les Patterson, the Australian cultural ambassador to the United Kingdom. Well, he calls it the Court of St. James. So, and the real person is Barry Humphries, and Barry is also Dame Edna Everage.
Oh, wow.
Wow, isn't
Okay.
that amazing? Yeah, so he has two
Did he
main
pass
characters.
away?
Yeah, just earlier this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Wow.
Yeah, so
What a
he's got
talented
some
person.
great jokes. And if you look up Sir Les Patterson, if you want to see more of his stuff, he's very clever without being too obvious, you know. And don't you love the little stories, you know? Well, she whistles naturally because she has a denture, you know, loose teeth, you know. So she whistles. I mean, he's just awful, and he's normally wearing suits covered in cheese stains because he's also a member of the Australian Cheese Board. And that guy interviewing him is Michael Parkinson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's such a funny show where he goes on there and he shakes Parkinson's hand. Parkinson immediately pulls his hand back because there's something on it. And he says, don't worry. He says, that's a bit of my ointment. He said, I meant to use an applicator, but I forgot it. So, I mean, he just really quite crude and disgusting.
Which is
So,
right
yeah.
up your alley.
No. But
No.
sometimes you need this. Yeah. Justin Ateo, him that is grim, says hello in the chat. Hello, Justin.
Hi, Justin. Good to see you.
Be there as well.
Hi,
Yes.
Dan accuses you of being a pervert, Claude. Did you hear that?
I know. It's projection, I think, much, you know. Of course, I have a
Right.
sense of humor, but, you know, a pervert is someone who preys on the weak, usually underage, all those sorts of things. And I have a good sense of humor. And of course, I'm an adult, so that's fine too.
Well,
And
they've
even
accused
his,
me of all sorts of stuff too, so don't take
even
it
his
personally.
beloved Dr. Hovind, look at some of the quite blue jokes he has hinted at. In fact, you know, Summer Come Loud, remember that one? And
Yeah.
a few others. Yeah. So, you know, Desperate Dan is very desperate to deflect attention from basically his own stupidity. I suppose it's the only word I can think of. And when he gets caught in a lie, he doubles down. He doesn't have the intelligence or whatever to say, oh, yeah, God, I was wrong. He can never do that. So he is very desperate now.
He doubles down by getting personal, though. That's the thing, is he doesn't double down. I mean, you know, when we're talking about Dawkins on the elevator or whatever, or not on the elevator, I mean, we were just talking about facts. And then, you know, he takes that and he gets all personal about it. And it's been like that ever since that. I mean, he was a little bit bad before that, but that was kind of the time when he said some horrible things. I have his chats, you know. I mean, if we ever want to do a show on him, I got the material.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's the only way I could ever have any respect for him. Well, should we say in some way become friends? No, I don't think so.
No.
It would be too big a change. I don't need to bother, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. So, once again, I want to know how many people has been led to the Lord through meeting Dan, or how many have been put off. I know a lot that have been put off because they come on my shows and they comment. Yeah.
Hi, Missy Mod. Hi, Awake.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think they're deceiving themselves by looking at Hovind, or rather Stephen looks at Hovind, and Stephen has no self-awareness, so he thinks, oh, but I watched through his DVDs, I can do exactly what he does, and then the Proverbs guys just follow suit, not realizing that despite Hovind being a profoundly dislikable individual, he does have that little. He has the ability to be kind of charming and endearing to people who are kind of prepped to view him already as he's a preach or a pastor, so they don't view him critically in the same way.
Right.
Especially
I mean, they
when
think
he
he's
was
a pastor. They think he's a pastor.
Yeah.
And he's a con man. I mean, he's a consummate con man.
Yes.
And they're not. And so they'll never be as successful as he is, because his whole shtick is, you know, they can't tell the jokes. They can't be funny. All the things that he does to try to engage people in, you know, using the Bible to control people to make money. They're not capable of doing that, because he's been honing that for decades. I'm sorry, Deviant, I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say that Stephen definitely is this kind of snake oil salesman type.
He would be if he could be.
But he's not smart enough to understand that you need the charm, you need to keep it up. You can't just say a joke at one time and be kind of treating another person as another human being, and then act like a complete a-hole for the rest of the time, unless you already have your solid group of people around you. So he doesn't have the acumen to become a new Hovind.
Hovind's consistent. I mean, his act has been consistent for decades. And he does it every day.
Yeah.
And he doesn't ever veer from the course. And if it wasn't for his tax problems, if he would have paid his taxes, he'd be very, very successful today. I mean, I think he still has a lot of money stashed away, but he also had to spend 9 years in prison, which is not worth it, any amount of money. But if he would have just paid the taxes and played the game, he would be worth a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
And he's good at what he's good at what he does, and I have to give him that. I mean, I've watched him, I've talked to him, he's got his act down, and he knows his audience, and he knows what they want.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to do help with the building of the Noah's Ark?
That thing looks, I mean, it's going to be 100 feet long.
It's going to be a third scale or something. Yeah.
I'd be, and 3 stories. I am very wary that thing is going to get beyond a certain stage. At some point, the rain's going to hit, and I just, they're just going to keep showing it in various stages of unfinished, like a lot of the projects that he has, because he's just wanting people to donate the, what was it, 13,000 or something for it to make it or something.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Claude? Was
no,
it 13,000?
I don't remember the amount, but he's very jealous of Ken Ham's one, I think. So he has to do this. This is something he has to do. Yeah.
I just don't think it's a real
that one, because that one leaks.
Right. Well, I mean, let's face it, Ken Ham has a lot more money than Hovind.
That was millions and millions of dollars. That one, that was like over the top. So nonsense, because then it did leak, and then they had it insured under flood insurance.
Right. I just don't think this is going to progress beyond a certain stage, is my prediction. It's going to be like the giant beavers. There were supposed to be giant beavers all over DAL.
And giant clamshells too.
But then came Sandra.
Oh God. Jeez.
There are distractions, and
I can see Claude making that joke.
I would have to say,
I'm channeling my Claude.
that the relationship has lasted much longer than the Claude would have predicted. I honestly thought by now it would be over. So she must be a special woman.
I think it's going to go the
no.
distance. I actually think that they like each other. And probably even love each other in their way.
I think she sees an inheritance.
Yeah. She's actually genuinely a nice person, though.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I should explain that. I think that she is really in love with him.
Yes.
I don't think she married him for, like, I don't think she's a gold digger like that. But we also know that Hovind already, since quite a while now, has been spreading whispers about her. So I think if it comes to a point where she no longer feels like satisfied in the relationship, where issues are coming up, or he's getting tired of her or whatever, then I can see a situation where she's gonna just stick it out and wait him out. I don't mean that she is doing that now. That's not.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I mean, you have to remember that she's been in the church since basically birth.
Yeah.
And that she really respected him before he even showed up on the scene. I mean, a long time ago. She's been familiar with his work and that kind of thing. So I just don't see her like ever turning on him or getting tired of that relationship. That's just my guess. I think they're going to retire together at some point.
Yes.
And they're going to go down to Florida.
I don't think it's a matter of her getting tired of the relationship, but knowing how Kent is an abuser. He abuses everyone around him.
But he's older now. And
he's
more frail. He is more frail, though.
Yes,
sure, but narcissists get worse with age. And
but he's also losing his cognitive skills, don't you think? And maybe he's becoming.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Yeah. Missing Mod has summed it up. She's a ride or die. I don't know what that means, but it sounds quite good.
That means she's in for the long haul.
Right.
Yeah. But what I think is, if she's getting fed up, which I think will take a long time. I think she is the kind of woman who stays in probably not very nice relationships too long. And I base that on like what little we do know about her previous marriages. Which tells me that she probably already have abuse in her background, which only going to make it more difficult for her to leave. And as I said, I do believe that she has genuine feelings for him. I don't think she's like a gold digger.
I mean, you can see it when they're singing their songs together. She's
Yeah.
smiling at him, and
Yeah.
She's got her hand round, trying to make it work like a ventriloquist doll.
I mean, we know from Cindy, she loved him. She didn't want it to end. The situation became untenable. She couldn't stay.
She had money, and they wanted her money, and they were pressuring her to sign.
Yeah,
that was a whole different situation, though.
Sure, but I also know that people like Kent, they don't change. It's not like one relationship is going to be bad because there were different differences in personality or whatever. It's their way of operating. Being with a narcissist is inevitably going to be
I think Awake
an
makes a good
abusive
point there too,
situation.
though.
What does it say? Also, to back out would take a lot. Her entire world. Yeah, exactly. But Kent is treated like a king, which makes her a queen, and they are treated as great saviors. Yeah, absolutely.
But should worst come to the worst, I
Yeah.
nominate Deviant to go over and become the fifth wife.
Oh, I'm gonna hunt you down.
You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight Missy Maud for that.
You're doing it for the team.
Missy Maud's gonna kill me.
Oh my God.
Okay, so do I
You
get
better
to
watch
Garrett?
it, Claude.
Yeah. I want to. You know what the Garrett is?
Fortunately, we're thousands of miles apart from one another right now.
Yeah.
You can send it across the internet. It was quite fun. I mean, because originally, I think Sandra is quite a talented singer, but she has actually gone backwards working with Ken. He has no talent and no ear. And I think she has an ear. I think she's a very natural musician, but lately that's ended up a disaster for both of them.
Well, whenever she lets him start, he just can't get the right first
No.
note down.
Yes.
I think she has 2 ears.
What?
2 ears are made for listening, One mouth speaking. That sounds like a Kentism. Yeah.
I'm surprised you let Claude get away with that, Deviant.
What was that?
That she was going to be the fifth Mrs. Hovind.
No. I told you, I'm going to hunt him down. I don't know how tall you are.
Some trouble.
I don't know how tall you are, Claude, but I have taken down guys who are about 40 centimeters taller than me.
About 1.95.
Yeah.
I'm very tall, Claude.
You're 1.95 meters?
Yes.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, I can take you down.
Oh, really, Claude?
Well, I stand out in many ways.
Okay.
Oh no, I got that wrong.
You're 6'5". You're telling us.
Well, that's not that tall nowadays, is it? Not that tall. Are you jealous?
I'm jealous.
You're about what, 6'1" or 2?
6'2". Yeah, I'd be.
Yeah, well, Miguel sees me and you're Gornberger, Yeah. Yeah. Miguel sees the Claude. Yes.
What's Missy Maud saying there?
I be way worse if you could send a thing
through the internet. Oh, right.
Oh,
She'd send even worse. Yeah. You were going to hunt me down through the internet and send
Yes.
something. Whatever you could do, she's going to be worse, which I should have known. I'm sorry I drifted from the path of righteousness and
But
straight.
Missing Mod, why would you? I'm attacking Claude because he's telling me to become Mrs. Hovind the
Fifth.
I told
fifth.
Missy Maud that you'd have to fight her off for the job, so maybe she's
Yeah, because I mean,
going after me.
while I'm off chasing down Claude, Missing Mod can go and chase up Hovind.
I do have to apologize to Missing Mod for straying from the straight and narrow path of morality, and a thing came through my YouTube stream, and I just had to put it up of a lovely lady singing The Minute Worse, and I had lusty thoughts for her, I have to say, and I put that up the other day. I don't know if you saw it. She was a beautiful lady, a German lady singing a song. Remember, I was so pissed off. I said, I've got to have some culture. And so, didn't you see it, Big Bad Mama?
Yes, I saw it.
Did you think she was beautiful? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt, spasming in my heart. So
I thought you were going to say in your loins.
No, that's lusting in the loins and spasming in the heart. Anyway, and I feel so guilty because but then I looked her up and she's 89 now, so I've sort of had a change of heart.
Oh, really?
I'm back to Mod again now. Yeah. Yeah, so please forgive me, Missing Mod.
I wonder if Missy Maud can sing.
I think she can.
Yeah,
We've never heard her. Deviant, can you say? Do you sing?
I
You
mean,
probably have a really nice voice, actually.
I like to sing, but I was convinced for most of my life that I couldn't.
Will you sing for us at some point?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not putting you on the spot now, but
no, not now. My voice can't do anything.
I think Missing Mod is like a country type singer, sort of like, I don't know why the word comes to my mind, hoedown. Is she a hoedown singer?
Well, the word hoe has a bad connotation here, Claude.
Does it?
And a hoedown is like a hoedown is like a party or a country party, I would say. A hoedown, right? But I mean the word hoe, she might not take that word well.
What is that?
No, I think Missing Mod would do like country meets ghetto.
Yeah, she likes the
rap.
She likes the beat stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
I know she likes to
like
beat.
Dolly Parton meets
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
Oh. Well, actually, that's a good idea. Someone says a bit earlier karaoke, and I was thinking, I don't know how we'd work it out. We could probably someone more technical than me. So on Gangster Ghosts, we could line up some karaoke songs, and the guests could come in and pick a karaoke song to sing. We'd have a great evening.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah,
I've done that online before.
Right. Okay.
In fact, it was on Adam Lohr's channel. He used to have karaoke.
Well, that would work perfectly. So, you can pick a song,
Working 9 to 5 has an entire new meaning. Is she talking about with the hoe?
I think so.
Okay.
So I shouldn't say, when I'm online dating and I meet an American lady from the West, it's not a compliment to say, "You are the most beautiful hoe I have ever talked to."
That's not a compliment.
It's not a compliment, no? Okay.
No.
Mm.
You'll get slapped.
And stoned.
Right.
Okay, well, you learn things every day. I'll have to look that up later.
You've never heard the word hoe. That's interesting. Deviant, you've heard it, right?
Oh, of course. I've heard it, and I know it so well that I actually think that Claude is pulling our little legs.
Okay. I mean, Missing
Sandra,
Maud's used it on her show. Probably every other show she says that word.
okay, there we go. Only say that if you have a nice rake in the other hand. Yeah, well, that's what I always thought a hoe was. And also, it's something that Santa said. Ho, ho, ho.
Adam.
Right. Oh, give me a break. She's never heard hoe before. I've heard her call. I probably have like 5 videos of her where she's referred to people as hoes.
Perhaps she meant garden rake. You garden rake, you. It's one of the most terrible insults.
Well, a rake is like a cad.
Ah, yes, like in England, yeah, and
Yeah, in England.
A rake, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
What?
A rake is like a cad, Do you know what a cad is?
Like a car?
An insolent man or something, right? A rich, insolent man, I would say.
Oh.
Yeah, he's spoiled and lives the good life, and travel, like in a couple of centuries ago, would travel the world on his parents' wealth, and probably conquering many women. And he was always good-hearted and good-natured, but he was a rake, yeah.
Like Worcester.
Yeah, that type of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't rake my hoe, says Missing Maud. That's actually quite clever. You could get on the script writing team for Hovind's jokes, because they could do with a bit of a, because I listened to you sort of saying how wonderful he was at joking. Yes, but when you've heard them sort of 90 times, the same thing, and when you're telling them before he does, and when you're mentioning the father in his platoon before he gets to it, something's wrong.
I have to tell you, I heard when I saw him, though, and he told those same jokes, they were funny.
Right, yeah.
No, you were just high on.
You were high on Hovind.
I was high, right. That's probably true.
Intoxicated by dust and.
Right, it was the dust I was breathing in from Pearl Lane.
Yep.
And there's probably 1 or 2 women there, I suppose. Caught your eye?
No.
It
was a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
You mean at Dinosaur Adventureland?
Yeah.
I don't remember any women there whatsoever.
Right. Wow.
I mean, I was just with Hovind when we took the tour. It was just him and I.
It was guy love. That's all.
It was bromance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No, it was weird. It was very strange, but I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went to Dinosaur Adventureland.
Yeah. If only you'd gone now, you could have helped with the Noah's Ark. Peter, on Missing Maud's show last night, he had a very good joke about a definition of someone who's keen on architecture or something. I mean, it wasn't that one, but he was very quick. It was quite funny. That was on your show, Missing Maud, last night. Peter said something very funny about that, I'm sure.
What is she saying? Where is everyone? What?
Yeah. Well, it's a bit late, it's late, and there's been so many shows. like between whatever. Like the reason what happens is I go missing mod starts hers, and the next thing I fall asleep because it's after midnight, you know. The next thing I wake up and hers is finished and it's Gangster Ghost. So I listen to a bit of that, fall asleep straight away again. If I wasn't listening to the shows, I wouldn't fall asleep. You know, this is a crazy thing. I don't sleep that well, so it's quite good for my health to listen to the shows. Anyway, next thing, I wake up and Proverbs guys got the show on. 3 in one fucking night, you know.
And you actually watch that show?
Listen sometimes. You know,
okay.
Because I love to get, you know, I was the other day they were telling me to come on, but had banned me from comments. It's just crazy.
Right.
You know,
they wanted me to come on last night to apologize to me about something.
Sure.
And I don't know what that would be.
If that was so, why not come on Gangster Ghost show?
Right.
And do it. You don't. It's like, let's say this is a bit of hyperbole, but an extreme example. But let's say someone had beaten you up in the streets and they contact you and tell you you should come home to them so they can apologize to you. That's weird.
Yes,
you think
just
it was
step
like
behind
that?
this. Just step behind this building and go down this alley, and then we'll do our apology. Biff,
right.
You know.
Of course, my example was a bit over the top, but just to paint a picture.
If a picture paints 1,000 words, then how can I
paint you?
A deviant outcast. You're all I want to do. Oh no, missing mod.
If a thing could launch 1,000 ships, then what am I to do?
Missing mod is like Helen of Troy. And then I come all over the place. Oh God.
That's a classic. That's
and
If. I've read.
It's called If.
You'll simply fly away.
Have any of you watched mine and Aiden's, whatever you want to call it?
No, we wouldn't want to watch that.
Of course.
Show, you mean?
Oh, the one about Egypt?
Yeah.
I've watched part of it.
Yeah, yesterday. So the entire stream they did was 1 hour, 42 minutes and 55 seconds. In the first session, we managed to do 45 minutes and 31 seconds. Then we were gonna do the rest yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, I wrote down the new timestamp. So we started at 45 minutes and 31 seconds. And we stopped at 1 hour, 3 minutes and 42 seconds. So 18 minutes. And it took hours.
Oh, I know.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 minutes of the video, I was there, I think. And it was like,
I can't possibly believe.
This is going to take a long time.
I can't possibly believe that Aiden and Deviant Outcast would take a long time to say things. I just find that impossible, you know.
Okay, but you know what? Do you know what I do when I have to listen to anything I take part in?
Mm-hmm.
I speed it up to like 175 speed or 2 times speed, because I take so freaking long time to say anything.
Well, you guys just
Only
have so much to
sometimes.
say. It's about how much you have to say about the topic that was taking so long, right?
Yeah.
I noticed, Deviant, at certain times of the day you speak more quickly. But if it's like late at night for you, it becomes about 2 words per minute.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
No,
if you've been drinking, it's 1 word per minute.
I'm drinking juice right now.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
what I
it's
did.
with Deviant, you're not sure when she's over with her thought. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna jump in here and start talking because
Exactly. That's what happens. And she's
and it's
actually
probably
not.
she's probably thinking I'm rude right now, but I mean
No,
I know, I'm
it's
kidding.
true. I
I'm
just
just busting
hate.
your chops.
We have a lot of fun here with each other's foibles. Foibles, I said too.
Foibles.
Yeah, or
Foibles, yeah.
just our personalities or
Missing Mod says, of course,
deficiencies.
Aiden never talks, which is quite right. He's
Right. He's a very quiet,
he's very shy.
shy nature.
Oh, do we know how he got on with his jab?
I don't. You mean the one he interviewed for?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if he. Yeah, I don't think he's mentioned it. I don't know if he's heard or not. I hope.
Hopefully
I hope he got it.
Good.
I mean,
Yeah,
the interview, he was stood up.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, so he didn't interview?
No.
Okay, because I remember he left for his interview and then he came back onto the stream.
Yeah.
So he was stood up. Okay.
Yeah. And to my knowledge, they haven't called him back or anything.
Huh.
Perhaps they listened to one of these shows. He should never have put Missing Mod as his reference.
Right.
I told him. I said, she'll be very, positive about you, but it'll be all the effing this and the or I'll come around and haunt you. I'll be round to your house. I'm going to kick your ass if you don't give him a job. And I said that wouldn't work, but he obviously thought different.
So how is Mr. Aiden professionally? Oh, he fucking talks all the time. And Aiden probably put Lupin down as a reference, and
yes,
Dustin,
Dustin, yeah,
Achilles.
Yeah. So it probably didn't go well. He could have put me down.
Yeah.
Well,
even
mentioning having Stephen Boland. Well, then Satan came up. Satan got into the equation. Oh my God.
Oh, but didn't you know that's the job he was applying for?
Oh,
Satan's helper.
Yes.
The prophet of balls helper.
Prophet of balls sounds to me, when you say that, it sounds like prophet of balls, which is me. And of course, I do.
Maybe you should go by the prophet of balls.
I think so. Well, yeah. I think I might use.
That'd be a good title for one of your shows.
Yeah. Well, I've got to achieve a win first, and one of my, of course, prophecies is that the guy they banned permanently, who was that? Bruce, that he'll be back on within a few months. So if that comes true, I can come on.
If that.
Yeah. And even I also predict who's the other one? The one dismissed for impropriety or what? But there wasn't impropriety.
Ryan, the one they accused of.
Yeah. So I predict will all come back on, and I suspect behind the scenes there's a lot of carrying on still. So yeah, I don't know. Ryan is someone I'd like to help, but I don't think unless he wants to be helped, you can't help him. He's going to stick with these Proverbs guys. You know?
Well, he stuck by them throughout this whole
Yeah.
thing. I mean, he's basically told Gangster Ghost not to give out any information or anything like,
Yeah, it's just
which I don't know what to think about that whole thing. Of course, I knew that we would get blamed for something in the end.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because of their lousy videos and bad choice of language. It was our fault. But who knows what the actual situation is, whether it's something worse or something, or it's what they said, which I have a hard time believing that they're telling the truth about anything.
I mean, you can't really say that it's a bad choice of words if you say that one of their ministers have been accused of improprieties with a minor.
An inappropriate relationship.
Yeah, an inappropriate relationship with a minor. That's not just, oops, I chose a bad word.
Yeah.
Mod has put something up there. I've put on the screen something to do with a 14-year-old boy. And if that's the case, it's not okay. But what is important now is that he gets some sort of what do you call it? If he is that way inclined, that he gets help. That's got to be.
It's also a question of course, and under normal circumstances, I wouldn't see any reason to doubt it on the basis that it's such an awful and detestable thing to do that I'm not really I wait, and if other information comes out, then I go from there. Otherwise, I'm going to condemn it. But unfortunately, because of the source, which is Proverbs Boys, that makes me think, okay, so what type of, because if he was 14 and this information came from the parents, and there's no police report, no nothing. I'm wondering, is it that he's like playing online video games or on YouTube, for instance, talking to someone? You can talk to someone I have talked to 14-year-olds. I've never had any like underhanded or salacious dealings with them.
Well, do you know what the case is here? What Dan said about it?
No.
So Dan said that he'd given his testimony to this child. And of course, Ryan's testimony is what it is. We all know what his story is.
Yeah.
And so the parents found out about that and weren't happy. And of course, this is coming from Dan. So this might not have anything factual about it. The other thing was that he said that I think in a text or something, that the boy looked handsome when he saw a picture of him, something like that.
Yeah,
and there was a third something. But again, we don't know any of that's true. This could be, I'm on the side of the child.
Yeah.
I'm not on the side of Ryan. I'm not on the side of the Proverbs guys. I'm on the side of the child. And based on what Dan was saying in his first video, I mean, why wasn't there some sort of an investigation? I mean, if that's he said that the parents determined that there was nothing illegal about what was done. Well, I mean, the parents have no say in the matter, really. Yes, awake. I agree. Total conflicting information.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything was there, but I'm just going by what Dan said in his video. And to me, that raises a red flag.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead, Deviant.
Yeah. So for me, I want to really, really emphasize this part that I will always be considering the child firsthand. But I also feel, because I have been thinking about it since the video came out with Dan when he was talking about it, that I don't want to be overly critical because it's the Proverbs guys. I don't want to be a hypocrite and like extend a hand of invitation to Ryan where I would never do it otherwise, just because the prolapse boys are against him. But
Well,
at
are
the
they
same
against
time,
him?
I mean, at the same time, I feel they are, because
Or are
he
they
didn't.
minimizing what he did and they're actually trying to cover for him? Isn't that a possibility?
It would be a possibility if. So again, it's difficult because we don't have all of the information. It is possible if the case is that the parents have contacted the authorities. Why wouldn't they do that? If it's one thing that they don't want their kid to be talking to some stranger online, they might think
Well, it's
that,
on the phone too.
yeah, okay, but that they don't want him to talk that way. And it does sound like some sort of breach of personal integrity and what is and isn't okay. But to be kicked out from my immediate sense is there is so much that they are not saying, but they did kick him out. It wasn't like he's taking a hiatus. They did go out publicly and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's difficult because we don't have all of the information.
So
And
anyway,
I'm not ruling out the possibility that, of course, my judgment is going to be somewhat tainted by what we know of the Proverbs guys and how they have acted and how Stephen have schemed and lied and so forth. Yeah.
Yes.
The kid is the most important part, regardless.
Now, folks, I mean, to be like my normal, I thought about 5 minutes or so we might wrap up. I don't know if there's any other hot topics at the moment that you think could do with,
No, I mean we're all like on pins and needles here because we've got the election tomorrow, so we're like,
yeah.
we're
I mean,
we're
quite
we're
interested.
freaking out.
Yeah, it's going to be
Can
really
I-
interesting. It's so
Can
close.
I ask a question about that? Because I have tried in other venues,
Mhm.
but never gotten a response.
Yeah.
So last time that Trump ran for president, if I'm not misremembering, he didn't, and I don't mean the 2020 election, I mean when he actually became president.
Yeah.
He actually didn't win the popular vote, but was,
Right. He lost by 3 million votes to Hillary Clinton, but he
Yeah.
won the Electoral College.
Electoral College, yes.
So
College.
in this election, because it's so close between them, that could happen again, couldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It happened between also between Al Gore and George W. Bush. Al Gore won the popular vote, but George W. Bush won the Electoral College.
So, in a way, a question would be, if you're a true believer in democracy and one person, one vote, right?
Yeah.
Then the Electoral College is not a fair way of electing. It should be just done
No.
by a vote. You total up the whole number of votes, and who wins, who wins.
That's
Is
how
that
it should be.
Yeah. To
Because
change that, how would that? You'd have to change the Constitution, wouldn't you?
I think you might be able to do it through the Congress. I'm not positive about that. Maybe it is an amendment to the Constitution. But the thing is, with the Electoral College, a vote in rural Wyoming, for example, Wyoming's not that populated of a state.
Yeah.
It holds a lot more weight than a vote, say, in Dallas, Texas, or Los Angeles, an urban vote.
Right.
And it's weighted toward the rural vote, which, as you said, Claude, it should just be one person, one vote.
Well, I just put it that way, unless you use all sorts of weasel words to try and justify certain people's vote being worth more, which I don't. I am one person, one vote. So in that case, that's what should happen. You'd
But
want someone
these Republicans are totally for the Electoral College,
of course,
because
because it
otherwise
favors
they can't get their candidates elected. The only one who would have been since the turn of the 21st century would have been George W. Bush's second term. He won the popular vote. Otherwise, no Republican candidate has ever won the popular vote.
So who are voting in the Electoral College? What kind of people are they? Well,
That's let me look into that more, because I can't give you like a short answer to that. There's just a series of electors that are chosen. And I don't let me look here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, are they like chosen by the parties? Is there kind of are they divvied up?
So the number of electoral votes exercised by each state is equal to that state's congressional delegation, which is a number of senators plus the number of representatives for that state. Each state appoints electors using legal procedures determined by its legislature. Does that answer some of that?
Yeah, so they are politically affiliated. They are part of the parties.
Yeah.
So in each state, how are it's such a weird system.
Okay, so your homework is for you to go Deviant and read up about all this. And on my next show, I want a full report. All right? How
Okay.
it links
It's a
with Egypt
screwed up system.
and how it links with Egypt. And I
Right,
think you
right.
could call it the Sphinx or the Sphincter, which system for the United States. Yeah, Father Charles is in the audience at the moment, and I don't know what he means by "we're the
Okay, so Trump called the people of Puerto Rico, well, his comedian that he had at his rally
right.
called Puerto Rico floating garbage.
All right. Yeah.
Puerto Rico is part of the United States.
Right.
And so Biden said, no, it's these guys that are garbage, And so now Father Charles is using that, even though it's his guy that called the people garbage first. But Father Charles is a Trump in Trump's cult. So sorry, Charles. But
Oh
it's
dear,
true.
Father John. That's fighting talk coming from the big bad mama. There's some quite interesting allies then. So, because Kent would also be in Trump, and
Oh,
Father
yeah.
Charles and Kent don't see eye to eye.
So Father Charles is in the same party as Lupin, Dustin, and Hovind. So he can take
And-
that.
And Stephen.
That's fighting talk.
Well, Stephen said he doesn't support either Trump or Harris.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did say several years ago that he don't want democracy. So I think we all know who he really supports.
Let's see why.
Well, in the end, Stephen will do as he's told by a certain person with doctor in front of his name. So his personal pronoun is doctor, because I tell you, that's what all it is. It's just a personal pronoun in that case. Yeah, well, I was a bit.
Claude, I want to stay after the show and talk.
Yes,
to you. And Deviant, you too, if you're around.
Yeah.
Father Charles is independent.
Yeah, right.
Right, Charles.
Look,
we know
what I do is
what
I'm going to do is end the show now anyway, because it has gone on. It's really just as it starts to get super interesting. I should have timed it better, but that's always the way. And we can have another one of these shows after, and we can see, we can dissect the election, or someone can do it on gangs. Doesn't matter who. The main thing is everybody has a chance to say their point of view, even if we agree or disagree. And I think that's really good.
Yes.
And good to see Father Charles back in there. Mark Reed's been in there too. Speedy Romans.
Oh, good to see you.
Oh.
Good to see you, Charles.
Awake, not awoke. She's given a reason for why the Electoral College should exist. So everybody's going to have different opinions, but she has given the reason, and so it's been good, to have this kind of discussion. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't. Missing Odd said she didn't get the notification. I wonder if it happens to me sometimes with other shows, and I unsubscribe and then resubscribe 1 minute later, unless I forget and then I unsubscribe, and I wonder why I don't get any notifications. Stupid.
I get your email, so that's how I find out.
Oh, that's how I did. Yes, which is an old-fashioned way.
Right. Effective though.
Well, Claude is always effective, or defective, perhaps. Yeah.
Defective.
Okay, so I'm going to say, Right Not Right says, look, there we are. It's refreshing to share different opinions without trading insults. That's right. Leave the insults for other things.
Yes.
Yeah. Speedy Roman says, smoke signals. Yeah.
Sweet.
Smoke signals. That reminds me of a joke. I don't know if I can say it. Well, I will. It says two people discussing, say, do you smoke after sex? And do you know what the person says? I don't know. I've never looked. Anyway, so On that note,
On that,
on that fine note, we will end the stream. Had you not heard that joke before?
no.
Oh, well, it's one of these.
And I hope
special-
never to hear it again.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't think you should tell Miguel, not in this early stage. You know.
I've known her for 20 years, Claude.
Okay. I better end the stream. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming on and helping me with the frog in my throat. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.